Let's take a brief look at creating forms in Access and also reports. Now, if you would like to go ahead and create a form for the race results table, then first thing you want to do is let's select race results table and go over to the Create tab, go to click the Form button, and can't be much simpler than that, can it? If you would like to go ahead and change your heading up here, just like with any text, you could click it once, wait, then click again, and position your cursor so you get your cursor blinking in there. Now you can go ahead and type whatever you would like in your heading for your form. If you have a precise measurement for any element of a form, then your best bet is to go ahead and be sure that you have the property sheet opened up. And to do that, you would be sure you're on the Design tab of your Form Layout Tools, since you're in your form, and be sure the Property Sheet button has been clicked. It's a little toggle button right over here to the right. And with that, if you needed to make this width perhaps 2.4 inches, then you would simply go looking for the width property and set it to 2.4 inches. It assumes inches when you do it. Simple enough, and as you can see, if you do one of these elements in a column, it actually adjusted all of them for you. If you would like to actually add elements to your form, for example, you might want to go ahead and have 2 blank rows after this last field. Then if you'd like to do that, let's click in the last field or the last row and go over to the Arrange option and select Insert Below 2 times. If you would like to add the date to the form, you could do that by going ahead and clicking the Design tab and going over to the header footer area and selecting date and time. You could decide there if you wanted to include just the date. Let's take that format, maybe don't include the time, and click OK. And it will go ahead and position your date here in your header area. If you would like to add a command button to your form, perhaps one that will allow the user to go ahead and click it, it'll say Close Form on it to close out the form. If you would like to go ahead and see a command button here, then let's go over to the Design view. Click in the bottom here where we would like to go ahead and put the button, and then go to the Design tab, click the button with 4 X's in it, and then click down in this area. It will open up a security notice about the fact that this button may contain viruses. We'll be okay with it. And then you open up the command button wizard. And here we want to go to a form operation which will close the form. That's what we wanted to do. We would like it to have text on the button that says Close Form. We're not looking for pictures. Click the next arrow again, and you can go ahead and name your button whatever you would like. It's good to give it a descriptive name so that when you're going ahead and working on many different objects in a form that's very complicated, you can go ahead and easily find it. Let's switch back to our layout view now. One of the reasons I went to Design View for that is that I'm finding out that sometimes your button wizard will not open when you're in Layout View. But it seems to be much more consistent in opening in Design View. So if you have some problems with that, give that a try. Let's go ahead and see how our button works. So we can double click our form to open it up. We're currently in Form View. This is where we can actually try it out. Click Close Form, and it works just fine. Let's look at creating reports now. Let's go to our Create button, go over to the Reports area, and let's start with a blank report. Once you've got your blank report there, you could take a look at your tables over here to the right. We're going to work on creating a report for the members table, and simply go ahead and double click any field that you would like to appear in your report. You can also group your report. Let's go ahead and group the display of our report by city. To do that, down in the bottom, you have the Add a Group window open. If you didn't see that group open, then you would go over to the Design tab and be sure you click the Group and Sort button. And now we can go down to that button area and click Add a Group and select the name of the field in the Group On area. Select the name of the field that you want to group the report on, and you can see it immediately has grouped the report by city. Like to work on changing the report layout itself, and in that case you would go ahead, go to the Page Setup tab in the Report Layout Tools, and you could go over to the page size here if you wanted to adjust the margin, page size group, and you could go ahead and click the margins, and let's go ahead and change the margins to normal. They had been narrow. If you wanted to go ahead and change the look to be landscape view, you could do that right over here in the page layout group. And of course, if you wanted to go ahead and start changing specific sizes and characteristics of any element, then what you would do is go over to Design, open up the property sheet, and you would have all of the fields here, or all the properties for whatever element you've selected. You can always use your drop-down arrow to select items. Or if an item doesn't have a descriptive address, then it might be easier to simply click on the item. For example, address is label 17, and change the properties of that particular field. If you would like to go ahead and add a title to your report, then you would, again from Design, you could go over to the Header Footer group and click on Title, and start to type in whatever name you would like to go ahead and give your report. If you would also like to go ahead and add page numbers, you could do that as well by going over to the Page Numbers button and clicking that, deciding what format of the page numbers you'd like. In this case we could choose N of M, and whether you would like to print it or display it at the bottom or top of the page, and whether you want to have center alignment, left or right alignment. We'll take center alignment and show a number on the first page. Click OK. And finally, if we would like to go now and preview our work, let's save the report work that we've done so far. We can call it our members report. Click OK, and then over from Design tab you can go to Views and see Print Preview as one of your options. And if you need to zoom that, you can go ahead and zoom it. So I look forward to seeing you again online very soon.